Hi, my name is Astrid, Priscilla, and today I'll be presenting my research project here in the Experimental Psychology Society conference. The title of my study is The Effect of Visuospatial Working Memory Presentation, Load, and ADHD-like traits on image viewing. Um, I am supervised by Kevin Dunt and Tom Fulham, and I am from the Department of Psychology, University of Essex. I'm gonna start talking a little bit of the background. Eye movements and visuospatial working memory are closely related. Research has demonstrated that the effects of social context is modulated by law. Um, Saliency map models have been used to understand eye movements behavior in image viewing. And attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, presents with deficits in working memory load. The aims of this study, so we examine the extent to which remembering spatial patterns of dots presented sequentially in experiment 1A and not sequentially in experiment 1B might affect viewing patterns on an image. So we hypothesize that high loads of visuospatial working memory might change viewing patterns. Our study was as follows. So for experiment 1A, we presented for the high-low 6 digits and for the low-low just 1 digit. In experiment 1A, they were all presented sequentially, whereas for the experiment 1B, it was a non-sequential dot presentation, following by 500 millisecond fixation cross, 5,000 milliseconds image viewing, and next, participants need to respond whether that location was presented previously or not. And at the end, they were receiving their feedback and based on the accuracy and the reaction time. The stimuli had two levels of spatial working memory, high with 6 dots and low with just 1 dot. Two levels of distractor object, the non-social object with high and low salience based on ETCOG and Iber model. And participants were also asked to complete the adult ADHD self-reported scales symptoms checklist. What you can see in this image, it's actually an example of a non-social low salient object. So here we are presenting our result. This is from the sequential presentation. On the x-axis, you can see the working memory load as well as the saliency. So we have in one side high load and the other low load based on high salient and low salient object. And in the y-axis, we can see the percentage of fixation. And blue represents social object, whereas green represents the non-social object. And this is just for the first experiment, that is the sequential presentation. And here I am presenting the non-sequential presentation. Again, the blue represents the social object, whereas the gray represents no-social object. We have x-axis with highly salient, low salient, and high and low load, and the y-axis with the percentage of fixations. Also, here we have a correlation. We found actually a correlation between the proportion of fixations on the non-social object with high salient, which is in the x-axis, whereas in the y-axis we have the severity of ADHD. What can we conclude from our results that I have previously presented? So we found that there was a relationship between the degrees of ADHD-like traits and the percentage of fixation on the non-social object with high salience. And we also found that these results suggest that memory load does not seem to affect overall eye movement patterns. So thank you very much. If you have any other question, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thanks.